back to Natural One, the only D&D channel where we are officially ranked as pretty mid by my mom, which means we're aiming just high enough to avoid disappointment. We're back to our usual shenanigans, taking your favorite character builds from across the multiverse, throwing them into a 20-sided dice blender, and seeing what falls out. Today, we've got something special for you, a character who tells stories as well as he makes them. Yep, it's VARRIC TETHRAS from Dragon Age. Get ready for crossbows, tall tales, and a whole lot of charisma. Let's break down how you can bring everyone's favorite storyteller into your next campaign.
You've been glowering for days. Your face is gonna get stuck that way.
My face is the least of my concerns right now.
That's because you don't have to look at it.
VARRIC TETHRAS isn't just any dwarf. He's the storyteller of Thetis. Crossbow in one hand and an epic tale in the other. Let's break down what makes this rogue with a heart of gold tick. First up, a 15 in dexterity. VARRIC's fingers are as quick as his wit, especially when it comes to handling Bianca, his beloved crossbow. Whether he's picking off Darkspawn or nailing a critical hit in the heat of battle, there's no denying he's a master of precision. Next, a 14 in intelligence. VARRIC may play the laid-back dwarf, but make no mistake, his sharp mind navigates the tangled webs of Orlesian politics and Inquisition conspiracies with ease. And let's not forget, it takes more than a bit of smarts to pen a best-selling series like Hard in Hightown. We'll follow that up with a 13 in charisma. VARRIC's not just the life of the party, he is the party. Whether he's charming nobles, rallying companions, or narrating your next adventure, VARRIC's got the gift of gab that keeps everyone coming back for more. Now, a sturdy 12 in constitution. Life in Kirkwall isn't exactly a stroll through the free marches, and VARRIC's been through plenty of close calls. His resilience keeps him going, whether he's holding out in the seedy underbelly of a tavern or weathering blows from both enemies and bureaucracy. Next, a solid 10 in wisdom. VARRIC knows when to keep his cards close to his chest and when to reveal them. But hey, even a dwarf as savvy as him can't predict everything. Sometimes those stories do get a little out of hand. Lastly, we're dropping an 8 in strength. VARRIC doesn't rely on brute force to get the job done. After all, when you've got brains, charm, and Bianca, who needs brawn?
To complain, or you'll forget I'm here and trip over me. I'm providing a service.
As always, we've got another variant human on our hands. Wait, he's a dwarf? Oh my god, we actually have a normal D&D character for once. This is very exciting. Okay, everybody calm down. Okay, so VARRIC is a hill dwarf, earning a +2 to constitution and a +1 to charisma, because this guy knows how to spin a good yarn and take some hits. With dark vision, he sees in dim light as if it were bright, while Dwarven Resilience gives him advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage. He's proficient with battle axes and warhammers, which is cool, though he's stuck using Bianca, his trusty crossbow. Seriously, VARRIC, all those cool weapons, and you choose a crossbow? Anyways, his Dwarven toughness means he's a bit harder to take down, and his stone cunning makes him a stonework history buff. So he's always ready to regale you with tales of ancient walls, among other things. VARRIC's got secrets, and we're going all in on that with the spy background. It gives him proficiency in deception and stealth, letting him talk his way out of, or sneak his way into, any situation. And to top it all off, he's got thieves' tools for those locked doors and the Dragon Chess gaming set. Because who would play anything but Dragon Chess in Dragon Age?
So who is Bianca?
My crossbow. Say hello, Bianca.
But why Bianca? You must have named her after someone.
Nope. Mirabelle was taken.
We're going to start him with a level in Rogue. Because, you know, it is one of 3 classes in Dragon Age, and we all know you don't get specializations till Skyhold. So, yeah, Rogue. With that, VARRIC gets a bag full of skills. Acrobatics to flip away from danger, performance to keep the crowd entertained, persuasion to charm his way out of trouble, and sleight of hand for those classic pickpocketing moments. He also gains expertise in stealth and persuasion, making him the ultimate sneaky talker. And of course, VARRIC can unleash his sneak attack for a satisfying amount of d6s. And don't forget he's fluent in Thieves' Cant, which lets him drop secret messages faster than you can say, "My crossbow is named after a woman who no longer loves me." For level 2, VARRIC really starts to shine with the Cunning Action feature. This ability reflects his quick thinking and agility, allowing him to use a bonus action on his turn to dash, disengage, or hide. It's like giving him a quick getaway option, because let's face it, sometimes talking your way out of a situation just won't cut it. It's level 3 and we're still roguing. With steady aim, you channel that full draw energy, taking a moment to line up your shot for an advantage on your next attack. Just be cautious. Once you start the attack, you're rooted in place. so make sure you're not standing next to a dragon's breath. Then there's Scout. You've become slippery as a wet Mabari. When an enemy ends their turn close by, you can zip away without provoking opportunity attacks, just like using evade in a tight spot. Finally, with Survivalist, you gain expertise in nature and survival skills, becoming expert at navigating the wilds of Thedas. At Rogue level 4, we're going all in on Piercer, because our boy's got a crossbow, Bianca, and she's ready to make some serious noise. With his feat, when he lands a hit with piercing damage, he gets to reroll one of those damage dice, which is just like finding a perfect angle for that satisfying bolt shot. And let's not forget about crits. When he scores one, he gets to roll an extra damage die to really amp up the pain. Oh, and there's some bonus dexterity to boot. At Rogue level 5, we're kicking things up a notch with Uncanny Dodge. This ability lets our clever dwarf turn into a slippery little eel when danger strikes. Spam that dodge roll, and when an enemy attacks, he can use his reaction to halve the damage. Level 6 brings some serious skills to the table with an emphasis on deception and acrobatics. Now, this dwarf isn't just good with Bianca, he's also got the finesse to weave in and out of trouble. With deception, he can spin a tale or two to distract foes. You ever hear about that time that guy subscribed to Natural One? Well, now he's a bajillionaire. And with his acrobatic flair, he can flip out of danger, making him feel like he's dodging the likes of a giant ogre and one of those stupid nightmare demons. I hate them! At Rogue level 7, our clever dwarf unlocks Evasion. You know, that nifty passive from Dragon Age? You have a 10% chance to dodge... Wait, no, that's the actual game. In D&D, if he makes a dexterity saving throw and saves, he takes no damage at all. And if he fails, he only takes half. That's an improvement, right? At level 8, he grabs an ability score improvement, putting a +2 into strength. This boost isn't just about swinging harder, it makes him more well-rounded. Now he can still be the quick and clever rogue while packing a bit more punch where needed. Plus, we have to make sure he has some pecs to pop those buttons off his shirt. At least I assume that's what happened there. At level 9, VARRIC unlocks his very own specialization, Artificer, bringing his love of gadgets and Bianca, the crossbow, not the whole person, to a whole new level. Magical tinkering lets him breathe magic into mundane objects, giving that classic Tinkerer vibe. With Poison Spray, VARRIC can finally use Toxic Cloud, while Minden keeps Bianca in top shape, as always. Longstrider and Jump give him the mobility boost for quick repositioning, and Snare lets him set traps that stop enemies in their tracks. Perfect for controlling the battlefield. At level 10, VARRIC's Artificer powers really come into their own, and fusions like Repeating Shot make Bianca even more unstoppable, turning her into a crossbow that doesn't even need reloading. Can you imagine needing to load that sucker every time in game? Oh, and the Bag of Holding? Just a massive inventory expansion for all the loot he can find. Cause deep down I want to hold on to all my stuff. It's mine. And the Grease Spell, that's VARRIC's version of setting an explosive trap. I mean, you've got to set it off, but grease should catch on fire. I will die on this hill. Alright, buckle up, because level 11 is where things get a little different. VARRIC's now a battlesmith, which means he's not just tinkering for fun anymore, he's using his intelligence to really put the hurt on. With Battle Ready, Bianca gets even deadlier, because now VARRIC's using his smarts to aim and fire. That's right, intelligence runs the show here, not strength or dexterity. Oh, and technically he's proficient with all martial weapons now, but let's be real, Bianca's all he needs. Speaking of Bianca, let's talk for a minute. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, wait, Battlesmith? That's the subclass with the metal dog that follows you around, right? Why on earth are you guys doing this? It makes no sense. And to that I say, shut up. No one was thinking that until you said anything, but now I have to address it. Bianca can be the steel defender. She can just, be the metal part of the crossbow or something. But that makes no sense. Shut up! She's a defender, and she's made of steel. I'm done entertaining this. Go to the next level now. Alright, folks. Level 12 is time to give VARRIC some more brains. Literally. We're dumping our ASI into intelligence, because while VARRIC may be known for his charm, quips, and a fancy crossbow, it's his cunning that really saves the day. With this boost, VARRIC will be solving problems and making things explode in the most intelligent ways possible. Plus, this helps with spellcasting, so win-win. Oh, and speaking of spells, Cure Wounds joins the roster, because let's face it, healing is kinda important in this game. Just don't use all your potions all in one go, because artificers are kinda limited here. Level 13. Now we're talking. VARRIC's finally getting the extra attack feature, meaning he can fire off 2 shots per turn instead of 1. Is level 13 on the late end of the build for this? Sure, but it's gonna be fun regardless. To make things even more fun, we're adding invisibility to the spell list, because sometimes even VARRIC needs to ghost the party for a bit. Probably to avoid a long, drawn-out conversation with Cassandra. Pop out of sight, line up the perfect shot, and remind everyone why you're not just the best storyteller in all of Thedas.
But I like the stories where the villain was the man beside you the whole time. The best villains don't see themselves as evil.
Level 14, and VARRIC's pressing pause on his tinkering and picking up a brand new shiny toy, fighter levels. That's right, we're switching over to fighter to really focus in on that archery skill tree for a bit. First up, he grabs the archery fighting style, which gives him a +2 bonus to attack rolls with ranged weapons. Bianca is thrilled. You're basically turning every shot into a bullseye, or at least close enough to make it hurt. Oh, and I guess we can get second wind for an additional potion use. I know that you can get more. Have I figured out how? No. Have I beaten the game? Yes. Don't ask me, I don't know how that happened. Now, this is where the real fun begins. VARRIC hits fighter level 2 and unlocks Action Surge. This lets him take an extra action once per rest, meaning 2 attacks, 2 spellcasts, or basically 2 times the mayhem. It's the perfect tool when you really need to light up the battlefield, or get out of a sticky situation faster than VARRIC running from commitment. Pop an Action Surge and go full auto with Bianca, or cast a spell and then fire off some arrows, leaving your enemies wondering how they ended up full of holes and regrets. At fighter level 3, VARRIC fully embraces his role as an arcane archer, gaining the arcane shot ability, and what is it now? Okay, fine, yes, technically you can't use this class with a crossbow, but I'm choosing to ignore that because it's stupid. Oh, your DM says you can't? I will fight them. Send them to the comments, I will deal with them. But yes, as I was saying, it allows him to imbue his arrows with magical effects, such as the Enfeebling Arrow, a perfect poison weapons ability if you ask me, inflicting debilitating effects on his enemies. And the Piercing Arrow makes a pretty damn good archer's lance. See? Are we really going to complain about this? It's literally one of the worst subclasses around. I think we can use it on Bianca, okay? Oh, right, and he gets Prestidigitation and Arcana Proficiency too, but the main thing is the arrows. At fighter level 4, VARRIC takes the Sharpshooter feat, turning him into a lethal force on the battlefield. Now, attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage, and he can ignore half and 3/4 cover like a boss. Plus, before making an attack with a ranged weapon he's proficient with, he can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll, and if it hits, he deals an extra +10 damage. Now we've got a bit of a long shot, so that Archer's Lance grab makes sense. Bouncing back to Artificer level 6, VARRIC grabs a few useful infusions to step up his game. First up, he drops the Bag of Holding. Wait, what? What am I supposed to do with all my items now? Leave them at Skyhold? This better be worth it. In exchange, he picks up Gloves of Thievery for some deft hands and tools, and Boots of the Winding Path, because somehow, no matter how far away you get, your allies can zip right up to you. I guess this is how he does it. Huh. On top of that, he learns Aid to give his buddies some extra hit points when the going gets tough. And let's not forget Tool Expertise, which means this character has expertise and cobbler... What? You mean we didn't give him cobbler's tools? Oh, this character is doomed. At level 19, VARRIC embraces his role as the clever storyteller of the Inquisition with Flash of Genius. In the heat of battle, he channels his quick wit to enhance an ally's role, turning a near miss into a heroic moment. VARRIC can pull this off as many times as his intelligence allows, and trust me, he's got more than enough to keep everyone on their toes. Reaching level 20, VARRIC is no longer just a charming rogue. He's a seasoned hero ready for anything. With False Life, he adds a touch of resilience, ensuring he's not just another pretty face in the fray. And let's not forget the Poisoner feat. He's now capable of crafting potent poisons, coating his crossbow bolts with deadly finesse. It's all part of the story. A few well-placed shots can change the outcome of a battle, just like a last-minute twist in one of his tales. You know, like when your favorite egg-headed mage suddenly decides to take a trip to the Fade after defeating the big bad. But who would trespass on your trust like that?
I always wanted to tell that one. Thanks.
They say a good storyteller can weave a spell more potent than any mage's charm. So, what is it about VARRIC's golden tongue that gets me hard in Hightown? He's skilled. VARRIC's got 6 expertises, 8 skill proficiencies, and 6 tool proficiencies, because Dragon Chess is serious business. He's not just a pretty face, he's a master multitasker who knows how to weave through both battle and banter with style. He's easy to miss. With a +15 stealth bonus, VARRIC's as slippery as a fish in Hightown. He can hide and disengage as a bonus action, pop invisibility, and teleport with his Boots of the Winding Path. With uncanny dodge and evasion in his back pocket, he dodges danger like he dodges awkward chats with Cassandra. Healing spells like Aid and False Life keep him in the game, because who else will tell the tales? Let's not forget his arsenal of poison weapons. When Charm won't cut it, VARRIC gets lethal. Thanks to the Poisoner feat, he's got deadly bolts coated with nasty concoctions. With Poison Spray and Enfeebling Arrow, plus traps like Snare and Grease, he turns every encounter into a thrilling twist worthy of his stories. He's going full draw. VARRIC's combat prowess is on point. With Piercer, Sharpshooter, Sneak Attack, and more, he's got a plus 13 to hit, plus 8 if you take the minus 5 from Sharpshooter, and his damage rolls, a wild mix. 46 from Sneak Attack, plus 1d10 from the Crossbow, plus 2d6 from an Enfeebling, plus 2d8 from Poison, plus 2d6 from Branding Smite, plus 15, averaging a 57.5. Just like a Riveting Tail, he could change the course of battle with one shot. And he can shoot a lot. VARRIC's got fans all over Thetis, but there's a reason Cassandra isn't one of them. Let's unpack the cons and see what makes her think twice about his playful antics. Okay, Arcane Archer sucks. Let's face it, Arcane Archer feels about as useful as a Dwarven Mage in Kirkwall. You get 2 magical shots and then what? You're left rummaging through your pockets while Darkspawns swarm you? Not fun. Let's talk about everyone's favorite, resource management. VARRIC's got a little too much to do in combat, and his bonus actions and reactions are competing for attention like the Inquisition supply lines. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Dwarves can't use magic. That's right, you've been duped. Sure, you might have all those flashy spells on your character sheet, but guess what? You've been bamboozled. You can't use them. Anything magic? Not for you. No spells for you, you silly goober. I don't care if they're artificer spells. Rules are rules. And that's a wrap on our adventure with VARRIC, the ever-charismatic rogue from Hightown. If you love this build and want to see more like it, head over to our Patreon for this and other builds, all for free. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell to keep up with our weekly content. Oh, and while you're at it, drop a comment with your thoughts or any character suggestions. Well, I'm gonna go vent about Dragon Age hair physics, so I guess we'll see you next week, where, until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.